Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly web series, Griz Tracks. I'm AJ Mazzolini, a sports reporter here at the Missoulian.
And I'm Bill Speltz. I'm a sports reporter and a Griz football beat writer.
And the season has actually started now. It is football season in Missoula. Appalachian State Mountaineers came to town last week and played the Grizzlies in Washington Grizzlies Stadium, and Montana took it to them with a 30-6 victory. Now, that seemed a little one-sided to me. I was a little surprised by that score. Bill, were you at all surprised about that, or was that kind of what you were expecting?
Oh, I was surprised. I think anybody who would tell you that they expected such a dominant performance on the scoreboard would be lying. Especially defensively, to hold them without a touchdown. A veteran quarterback. They had 9-10 guys coming back on offense, so to hold them without a touchdown. And there were times when their quarterback, Jamal Londry-Jackson, looked confused. And so credit to the defense and defensive coordinator Ty Gregory.
Yeah, playing in that loud environment, first game of the year, always maybe a few jitters, but looked like maybe even a few more than normal. On the other side of the ball, first game back, obviously, for Montana quarterback Jordan Johnson. What'd you see for him? Started the game with 12 straight completions, was it?
12 straight completions, and he couldn't ask for a better start. His first pass that stands out in my mind, it was a deep out to Cam Warren, a tough pass to throw, hit him right on the money, and just took off from there. And it was impressive the way even if you look at it, he was caught through his first 12 passes were complete, and then his first incompletion was actually he threw the ball away down by the goal line, so that you can count that as an incompletion. That's fine, but
you'd rather have it that way, though. I mean, that's a veteran move from a guy in the red zone. Doesn't want to force a ball in there and maybe risk a turnover.
Right, and then I think his next incompletion was a dropped pass. So it's one of he was near perfect, and the offense was impressive in that they had about 250 yards rushing and passing. So you can't ask for better balance than that. It really bodes well for the future. I was really interested in the way that Scott Gregg, the assistant coach, set up the running game. He used a lot of different personnel you didn't think you'd see on offense. There was a time down at the goal line he had Bieneman in there, a defensive tackle, doing some blocking. I noticed he did a little bit of that with his offensive linemen too, setting them in motion and bringing them in. There were times they used two fullbacks in their blocking scheme. A couple of times they used two tight ends, but not lining them both up on the line of scrimmage. So it was neat to see the creativity there, and along with the impressive passing.
Yeah, they've sort of gone to that more pro-style formation, maybe a little more reminiscent of the Bobby Houck era, with a lot of tight ends and actually some fullback usage, which not a lot of teams go for these days anymore.
No, and I talked to Mick Delaney about it, and I asked him why they changed, and it's really kind of a reflection of his personality, I think, and his experience in the game. He wanted to get back to the basics with the bread and butter, and just I think he took a look at what they had for offensive linemen, the big guys. It's amazing the way they're able to recruit those big guys year in, year out. And he said, let's just take it right at them, smash mouth, and it's working so far.
Yeah, pound the ball a little bit. With live action now, there's always the risk of injury a little more so than in camp. What have we seen on the injury front through one game, Bill?
Well, the worst injury was Clay Pearson, their senior tight end, suffered a broken bone in his hand, and he's in a cast right now. It doesn't sound like he's going to be out too long, but he may miss the North Dakota game. Coach Delaney said that he's day-to-day with that. I don't expect him to play against North Dakota. I would guess that Jordan Harper's going to see more action. The freshman from Great Falls has certainly had a nice catch against Appalachian State. So I'd like to see more of him, and I think he's a great receiver, and maybe just work on his blocking a little bit.
And a guy that the Grizzlies should be getting back is Tonga Takai, nose tackle, right? And the Grizz defense fared pretty well without him, but that front might even be a little more sturdy here coming the next game.
Yeah, Coach Delaney sat him for a game, and I think that it adds more depth to a front line that was pretty impressive on Saturday. You talk about Bieneman and you get Tyrone Holmes, and on the other side you get Zach Wagaman. There's just a lot to like about that group, and certainly it helps to have depth in those games, especially when they're getting pushed by these offenses that like to spread it out.
Yeah, sure. Grizzlies will be taking an early season off day here this Saturday, the bye week in week 2 here. So no football action for Montana this weekend, but we'll have North Dakota on the road the following Saturday then.
Yeah, North Dakota has a big game this Saturday. If you want to go to bigskytv.org, you can check out their game, see what the opponent's going to be like. Definitely, we all remember what happened last year when they racked up the passing yards. I think it was 660 passing yards against the Griz defense. So my guess is that's not going to happen this time, but we'll see.
Yeah, again, a little improved secondary also for the Grizzlies, and a new season, a new game, obviously. Check back with us next week, and we'll give you a few more details on the preview of that game. And check out the Missoulian every day for our continued coverage of Grizzly football this season. Thanks for tuning in.